Right here I have this hydroponics growing system. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and show you everything it comes with. So this is everything that came inside the box besides the user manual. And I just kind of wanted to go through what each of these things is. This is the actual hydroponics growing system itself right here. And we'll go over some of those details in a minute. But some of the different things that this comes with is 12 different little growing baskets. And these are essentially going to fit right into these little holes on that growing system itself. That's what's going to hold your soil that the seed is going to go into. Speaking of soil, we do have these 12 different sponges here that do have a little hole in them right here. So that is where you're going to essentially plant your seed. And then you're gonna place this sponge right down here in this little basket. And then, like I said before, that is all gonna go in your little spot right here. We have some of these different covers right here. So if you're not using one of these, you can just cover them up. We also have 12 of these different grow domes. You can see they just look like this. So if you need that to have your seed start out, then you can just set this right over where your seed is growing, just to give it the right humidity that it would need to grow and survive. We also have these 12 different little pod labels, so you can label your plant and place it around where the seed is going to come out. There is a pair of tweezers here in order to place your seed correctly. There are 12 different tags. I feel like this would be especially useful once your plant gets a little bit larger, but especially if you're gonna be transplanting this item into your garden, this would be really useful as well, just for clear labeling. This does come with a power cord as well, just to plug this into your wall. And it does come with fertilizer and fertilizer refills for these two pieces. Then lastly, this does come with 12 different rods. So let's go ahead and look at the actual hydroponics growing system itself right here. So I did just plug this in, but I did want to show you that you can raise this platform so much higher. So you can see this is as low as it goes, and I would say that's really, really close to where you would actually plant your seeds. So depending on where your plant is at and what stage of the growing process it's in, you can raise or lower this piece for the light to be in the right position. And you can tilt it up in order to deal with all of your plants and then place it back down. This does feature a full spectrum grow light, and you can see this does have a 180-degree maximum adjustable angle here, as well as a 21-inch maximum height that you can adjust that to as well. So with all the different features that this has, it essentially has 2 times the light range and 5 times faster growth, just because of all the different options, which I think is so cool. But you can see you can raise this all the way up and then place the top part back down where the light is going to be shining down. So looking back over here at the base, this is the little watering hole, so you can just remove this little piece right here and add more water when you need to. But essentially a hydroponics growing system is where the plants that you're planting are growing in water, so they have that constant ability to take in as much water as they need. You can see if we lift this off, this is where you're going to fill it up with water. And it does have the amount of water on the side here in liters with a maximum capacity of 6.5 liters. I really like that it can hold so much. That way you don't need to refill it all the time. So then we place this piece back on and you'll have all of your seedlings and plants started, and they will fit really nicely right in here. And you can see right next to each of these, there is a little air hole. If you were going to grow something that was perhaps a little bit larger and needed a little bit more space, you could definitely space them out and just put these plugs in those spots, just so your plants have enough room, just depending on what stage and what you're actually growing. I did want to show you, if I turn this around, this is where the little power is plugged in. So let's go ahead and look at the panel on the top. So this actually has a new remote control type design, which I think is really cool. You can use it just right on top of here, but you can also take this remote with you and use it at another place in the house, which is going to be so useful. So you can see on here we have the power button, so you can turn this on from wherever you are. Right here is the pump button, so that's just going to control the pump. This button right over here is the light mode button. We're going to press this to switch to different growth modes. So you can see as I'm selecting this, I don't know if you can tell, but the light options are changing in here. So you can see just going through them, you can just tell the little bit of a light difference. This setting button right here is going to allow you to set up your daily grow plan setting. So that's gonna adjust the times and the duration of the pump and so on. And then over here we have the plus and minus button for adjusting. Some of the different modes you can actually set this to is the vegetable mode, flower and fruit mode, and herb mode. So it already sets up certain stipulations to be able to make you successful on whatever it is you're planning to grow. And I do feel like the user manual does have really good instructions on how to start your seeds, how to get them started and planted, and how to just set yourself up for success. I'm gonna go ahead and add some water down here just so you can hear about how loud the pump is when it's running. So I just put some water down here on the bottom, and you're not typically going to take this off, but in the beginning, you do want to make sure that you get enough water in there. And then as you need to refill it with water, like I said before, you can just use this little hole right here. So now if we turn it on, you can kind of hear the water pump in there. And that's just gonna cycle through depending on what setup you have. You can actually select a time that the pump is going to run, both at morning and at night, for example, or every 8 hours. So if you had this set up for every 8 hours, then this would make this sound about every 8 hours. I really do like that this is not loud and bothersome at all, so you could definitely have this in your kitchen or your living room and it wouldn't be a bother. Overall, I think this is such an awesome system to be able to grow fruits and vegetables or even herbs or flowers inside your own home, no matter what the season is.